Are we living off of our grandparents' guilt? I want to talk to you about that in these closing moments. There are people who are still pushing for us to bring Syrian refugees into this country. Now, I have said repeatedly on this show and in writing, these are not refugees, they are insurgents. If they are devout Muslims, they bring with them a completely separate law code and a completely separate set of loyalties. But more importantly, as the Parisian attacks have proved, because some of these men were let into Europe under the guise of being refugees, okay? The ones in the attack and those that provided material support for them and tactical support. If we let in refugees, a certain percentage of them will in fact be trained members of ISIS. And all you have to do is look at the pictures, okay? Look at the pictures of who is coming. It's well-dressed, healthy Muslim males, okay? One of the guys involved in the attack was actually on a boat that was rescued by Greek authorities. That's what, all right? He almost went down with the ship. They saved him, and he then went on to give his thanks to Europe by killing infidels. So people who think, oh, if we just let them come here and they'll have a taste of freedom, they'll have a taste of democracy, and they'll have a taste of economic prosperity, they're going to be okay. You're fooling yourself. People who tell you this are insane. They don't know history, and they certainly don't understand the narrative of Islam. So we have to not live off of our grandparents' guilt. In other words, we look at, well, yeah, we really did oppress black people with slavery, and we really did oppress black people with the Jim Crow laws. And we really were cruel to the Japanese with the internment camps in World War II. And we really did mess up with the McCarthy hearings with the communists in the 1950s, the un-American, whatever they were called, the un-American hearings. Stop living off our grandparents' guilt. We have a knife to our throats. We have a scimitar to our throats from Islam. They know what they're doing, and they believe it. Okay? Now, in tomorrow's program, how much time do we have? In tomorrow's program, I'm going to look at you with 4 things that we can do. What we can do personally about Islam, personally. What we can do with PR, public relations, we the people. What we can do through our government with domestic policy, and what we can do with our government through foreign policy. Those are the 4 ways. If we have any hope or prayer of being safe against Islamic terrorism, I'll tell you, I'll give you the hint for the first one. You ready? We have to understand Islam. We have to study it. We have to understand it. We have to know Muhammad. We have to learn some of the names. We have to learn some of the critical battles, like the Battle of Badr, the Battle of the Trench, or Battle of Uhud. Because these things, oh, I don't want to learn that stuff. Well, then you don't want to understand how to protect yourself. Okay? It's really simple. You have to be able to say, Muhammad was a bad guy. He wasn't a good guy. In the narrative, he was a villain. Most people do not know that Muhammad killed a man with his own hand, that he personally ordered and oversaw the beheadings of hundreds and hundreds, literally over 1,000 people, okay? But if you don't know that, how can you say to a Muslim, do you know what the founder of your religion did? Do you know that he institutionalized rape of Muslim captive women? Is that what you want? So we have to know Islam, all right? That is going to be a part of our duty, what keeps us safe. And then the second one is what we can do collectively as a body. In the meantime, contact your senators and your representative from the U.S. House and say, under no circumstances should we let any Syrian refugees in, and we need to send the ones that are here out. And oh, by the way, why won't Saudi Arabia take them? Have the same language, have the same religion, look alike, have the same culture. Saudi Arabia doesn't want them because Saudi Arabia knows that there's terrorists among them.